In this video, I'm going to show you how to play the game WordUp, a sort of cross between Scrabble and Snakes and Ladders. You can find WordUp on the website youagainst.me. All the games on this website can be played over WhatsApp or email or Twitter or Facebook or SMS or anything that you can send a web link on. The clever thing about the games on youagainst.me is that there's no account. There are no logins. There are no cookies. There's no data storage anywhere. All the game moves are cleverly encoded in the link that you send to your opponent. And for added security, if it were needed, it's sent over a secure server. As a proof of concept, we wrote a few games like chess and Connect 4. We also did a Connect 3 version of Connect 4 to make it a little faster, and the classic game Battleships. And we also did a version of Wordle called Wordle Battle. And this is where you send a Wordle game to a challenger and then you try to discover the secret word in fewer goes than your challenger. But this video is about WordUp. Okay, let's clear some of this. Let's make this a bit bigger. The idea of WordUp is to get from the bottom row to the top row using real words like you would in Scrabble. And you can't just write any words, you have to use words that you create from your letter bank, which is given to you as part of the game. The idea is to get from the bottom to the top, scoring as many points as you can. And like in Scrabble, there is a double letter score and a triple letter score. And you will also notice that any letter put in one of the corners scores you an extra 10 points. You cannot create words over these barriers. You have to move through the gaps. Words have to be created left to right or top to bottom. You cannot create them bottom to top or right to left. Here is an actual version of the WordUp game. When you start WordUp, the first thing you have to do is select the level. There are 6 levels. The levels determine what the barriers look like. So this is level 1. In level 1 there are just 2 barriers and the gaps are quite large. If we were to choose level 6, however, you can see we now have 4 barriers and the gaps are small. And there are also blockers. So let's try a game at level 4. Once you've decided the level, the next thing you have to decide is whether you're playing by yourself, in which case press this button, or whether you want to share this game with somebody else. And if you do that, when you click here, you will get the option to share. When you click this button, you can then share the link that you're given over WhatsApp, over Facebook, over SMS, over email, over anything you like. If you can share a web link, then you can play these games. Okay, we're going to play a game just by ourselves, and it's going to be a level 4 game. So here is our level 4 game. And remember, the idea is to try and get from the bottom to the top, scoring as many points as possible and avoiding the barriers. How it works is you click on a letter and it turns yellow. You then just click wherever you want it. So I will start here in the corner. Before I give you some tips on how to play, I just want to talk about these 2 buttons. This button will reorder the letters in your letter bank. It starts by putting up the vowels and then just puts them in alphabetical order. This is more useful after you've been playing for a while and the letters are all over the place. This done button is to say that you have finished, that you think you have reached the top. And if you have reached the top, you'll be given a score. If you haven't reached the top, then you won't be given a score. You will see this message, top not reached. Click anywhere on the board to get rid of that. Okay, I'm now going to show you a game that is already underway. So you can see here that I started in the corner. That's a good move. Another thing I did was put V, which scores 4, on my double letter score. That was also a good move because it gives me 8 for that tile. And you will notice that I've used it twice, once in the word gave and once in the word vet. That means this is now worth 16. And that's great for beating your opponent. Okay, so I do have a path nearly to the top. If I press done, all the tiles turn red and I get top not reached. And I don't see any points. So let's try and get to the top. Okay, well I can see that I want to put the word fat in there. But I don't have a spare T, so I will use this one. I can now move this A to here. I now have VE, which is not a word, so I'll move my X in there, which is great for another 8 points. Now I will check it. 111. That is an excellent score. But I'm going to see if I can improve on it. Well, there is one easy win here. I can just put the S on the end of made, and that'll give me another point. But I'm also a little bit disappointed with this, because I've missed out on the H, and the J, and the Y, which are big scoring letters. I don't think I'd be entirely happy with this board, but this was just to show you how to play. So let's press done and see what our new score is. Yes, it's 112. An excellent score. I can now share that with my challenger or start a new game. Remember, you can play this exact game against your challenger. There is no data storage anywhere. It's all cleverly encoded in the web link that you send to your challenger. And this is true for all of the games in youagainst.me. Now, the last thing to say about WordUp is that the words are not spell checked. But don't worry, your opponent will be your spell checker, because when you share your game at the end, they see your board with a picture like this one. And that's the point. Half of the fun of playing games like Bananagrams and Scrabble and now WordUp is to have these conversations with the person you're playing. You might be using the English dictionary. You might be using an American dictionary. You might be using the official Scrabble dictionary, and that has some words in that you would never believe were words, as does the Bananagrams dictionary. So, play WordUp, and when you've sent your version, if you've got some dodgy words in there, you should expect some comeback from your opponent. And that's how spell checking works in this game, just like it does in Scrabble and Bananagrams and other spelling games. So that's everything from this video from youagainst.me. Remember, if you can send a web link, then you can play these games. Enjoy, especially WordUp. Thanks for watching.